Steve, cheers.
Brian, cheers to a great vacation.
Great vacation. You know, Steve, I was thinking when I was aggressively stretching earlier in my one piece, I like my body, but I don't love it.
Yeah, Brian, I feel the same way. Felt it when I was changing next to an older man in the locker room today. You know, I hear that there's a place that you can go that will take care of all of your problems, even if you don't have any.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What's it called?
They call it Madison.
Should we go?
Let's.
Hey yo, this MC Kibble with some hot beats to drop on you. So listen up, my nibbles. This is off my new album, King Kapur, out July 1st, featuring my dads. Woof.
You got your heart, and if your shit is flimsy, then your ass is gonna bend. And like I said before, there'll be no tears in the end. I'm rolling through your hood, and now my heart is filled with anger. You at your sister's house, and now your sister's like.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Little scrimps.
XD rolling deep, getting pretty, see?
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Flap City, we got cash in our pockets, money to spend, Benjamins out our sockets.
We rolled into the mad flap town, looking for Cosmo, ready to get down.
Didn't take long, we hit up the U, my bad boy Benz and his bad Badger crew.
We asked who's the doc, who should we see?
There's only one name in this distinguished community.
He's the one with the skills that are pure.
He's the one with the real nice girl.
Radica. He's the one we should go to for sure.
He's the one they call Sahil Kapur.
MT.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap city.
Little scrimps, little scrimps, little scrimps.
XT.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Yeah, Flap City, Flap City.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Mad City, mad, mad, mad city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap city.
Kapur putting up them big flap titties. Rolled into clinic,
In it to win it.
took off our shirt.
Too early, put him back on.
Enrolled Mr. Sahil man.
Must've had it made, cause he's got a real nice tan.
In a buffant, a fine French myrrh.
Armani scrubs, red undershirt.
Damn son, did you see that man's kicks?
Nike's blacker than the Grim Reapers. Showed him the dough, said we wanna look tight.
You know the kind of look keeps him up all night.
He says, can you be a bit more specific?
I say, you're the doctor, I ain't no scientific.
At this point, Mr. Sahil man is looking at us both like he's making a plan.
He say, you boys think you fancy cause you rap it? I'll do you one better, shut up.
Let me flap it.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Yeah. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Yeah. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Flap City, flap, flap city.
Fired up, too hot to touch. Ow, little Miss 310.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Yeah. Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city. Little scrimps, little scrimps.
Mike Pence.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
No stress, no stress, no stress, no stress.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, Madison. Received the bill for the procedure, leaving the hospital at our leisure.
Did a double take as we headed out the door. The city is flaptastic, damn that's for sure.
But we couldn't help thinking about our doc.
The man who's thinking micro around the clock.
He's got a giant brain, bigger than Texas.
He's got enough balls to account for both sexes. What?
Truly talented, a gift to the profession.
He operates longer than my love-making session. 6 minutes.
6 days? Y'all know he's fun. We're gonna miss him at the Anderson. Flap out.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap, flap, flap city.
Flap City, flap out.
how close you want me to
He must have been great because he's got a great nice tan. Right on the scrubs.
Not kidding. Could you flap it?
In Texas.
Got enough boob.
Too talented to get in Texas.
He's got mad skills that are balls and the sexes. Account for both sexes.
Too talented.
You got the line.
Can you get his pants?
Get my pants back up a little bit. And then get my pants to start. Get my pants.
Yep.
Can you be a bit more specific? Well, I'm not doing that. Like
It's really funny. All right, try one more time.
Can you be a bit more specific? All right. I don't know what's happening.
French Mart.
Armani scrubs, red undershirt.
Damn, son, did you see that man's kicks?
Nike's blacker than the Grim Reaper's dick.
Showed him the nose.
Did you rap it? I'll do you one better. Shut up, let me flap
At this
it.
point, this is
Shut up, let me flap it.
on?
Okay, hold on.
Flap City, flap City. Flap City, flap
There we go. Right. Which one do you want to do?
You're walking.
Good. How do I go?
Yeah. Just keep going forward.
Okay, good. Dude, that's hard to drive.
I can tell.